Hi friends, this is Alagapan. This is a very short video on how we can utilize a content type called applications/DW in the Dataweave script of Mule. So before heading into this content type discussion, so let us first frame our objective. The objective of this particular example is to get an XML like this. This XML is no different than the usual XML, but the only difference here is this pass me flag is equal to true. So this is an attribute attached to this simple element. So this video aims to achieve this particular output. So going back to the Mule Studio, this is the project I kept to describe the usage of application/DW, the content type. So before getting into the next steps, let us start with the Mule's process layer and system layer. So as we all know, like Mule has three different layers: experience, process, and system. So in this particular video where I am just demonstrating the process layer is going to call the system layer and it is going to give me the output. So I just built two listeners, one for a process layer, one for a system layer. The process layer is having the allowed method as get. It is not, it isn't specified the content type. So it is a get method, and this process layer is requesting the system layer to give me the output. So the system layer is having the allowed method as post. So in this process layer, I will be required to produce an HTTP requester to contact my system layer. So there are two listener endpoints here. One is to receive the request with a GET protocol. That is my first entry point for the process layer. And once it reaches here, it will go and traverse to the system layer. The system layer is having the allowed method as post. So it will accept only the post request. And as I said, the intention is to produce an XML like this. So how we can achieve this? So consider uh, this two things actually. Process layer is trying to produce application JSON where I would like to convert into application/XML in the system layer so that I can hit any SOAP backends at my system layer. So this is pre-structure. It starts from the process layer where the process layer is expected to send only application JSON, and the system layer is expected to receive only application JSON, and it is expected to produce application JSON as an output. But in the system layer, the input is application JSON, but it needs to be converted to the XML to hit some backend which is of SOAP type. So that will give an XML response. I need to convert again that to JSON and send it back to the process layer so that they can send it to front end. So how we can achieve this? And the two, our system layers output should be like having a flag called pass me flag is equal to true. So the simple solution everybody can straight away look into is to have output as an application JSON where I can have, this is my schema. Okay, so process input is having a small element called in header. This complex element has ID of 909, and I am having in core one another complex element where I am trying to pass an attribute called pass me flag. So I am framing this as an application JSON. It is going and reaching the system layer, where in the system layer I am just placing application XML payload. So let us first run this case to see how it works actually. Let us wait for a minute so that it completely boots up. Okay, it got deployed. I'll go to my Chrome. I will hit localhost 8081 slash processing. So as you can see here, I got the output. So this processing has invoked my process layer, and it has supplied an application JSON to my system layer. In the system layer, as I showed you, I have an application XML payload that converted my JSON input. So it has given the XML back. So the XML has everything except the pass me flag. So that got stripped off. So in Mule actually, when you just convert application JSON to application XML with Dataweave, it will does the conversion easily. But the only issue is when you have any complex elements and that complex elements has an inner attributes present and you want to have that inner attributes to come. So that's where application JSON to application XML direct conversion will not give you the correct result. So how we can achieve this? Our objective, as I said, this is the one. But with application JSON to application XML, what we got is this. So we want to achieve this output. How? So that's where the application slash DW comes into the picture. Application DW is one of the content type of Dataweave. It is just nothing but a canonical form of JSON object. So it's more like a JSON, but it is kind like will give you an object representation of JSON. So let us go to our Anypoint Studio. This is our Dataweave where it is doing the application JSON as an input. So we will change this one to be application DW. This is the first change I made. Application DW's output type. Application DW, as I said, it is a canonical model of the JSON object. So it implies it's an object and it is of type JSON. So if you can debug it with Anypoint Studio, you will get it is of byte array stream object. So because I'm sending an object across a layer and I'm having a data view over here, the object is needs to be converted to a string format so that it can be attached to a data view. So if you're directly passing an object to uh, data view will not recognize and it will fail because it doesn't know like what content type it is going to come. So I will drag an object to string. I will add the object to string in my configuration XML. So I introduced an object to string here in the system layer. I changed the output of application DW to be application JSON. Let us run it again. Let us wait for a moment to get deployed actually. So we'll go back to the Chrome. We'll refresh the page one more time. So this is the output I got, and this is my expected one. If you see here, it is totally same. So I got the output what I want. So this illustrates the usage of application slash DW. It is nothing but the canonical model of the JSON object, and it can be useful in use cases where it demands an XML that needs to be sent to some backend system which thus really need an attribute which is part of a complex element. You can use application DW for that. So that's it. Hope you have enjoyed. We'll come back with another example in the next video.